So for educational purposes, I'm gonna go inside the car and try to turn it on, just to give you guys a feel for what that's like. And don't worry about that belt you see there, that's for the power steering. I don't really need it right now. And it doesn't matter because ultimately this engine's plugged. To give you a feel for what the engine sounds like when it's done. That's all she wrote. That's what it sounds like. So now, start ripping this engine out. First, we're going to take the fluids out after we jack the car up. So then I took the old engine out and I went ahead and I did this cliche but still very cool thing I've wanted to do in a while, which is to stand inside my engine bay. Total car nerd thing. These Miatas are so small you feel like you're wearing them, man. Epic win. Here I am putting on the new valve cover. I went ahead and spray painted it in silver so it looks a little bit nicer. Then I started the process of getting it on. It's pretty simple. You basically just put RTV sealant in all the little corners where the gasket wouldn't seal properly. Then after that you slap the valve cover down and you go ahead and you tighten the bolts down in the proper sequence. That's really all there is to it. Here I am consulting my phone for some information. Basically, all the specs for how much torque and what sequence you need to tighten these bolts on can be found on Miata.net. Be sure to tighten these bolts down in the proper sequence if you ever have to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have leaks around your valve cover or gasket, and worst of all, you could have leaks into your spark plug area.
Bring the engine in and then push it back in.
Yeah, good.
Huh?
We're going to put the engine on out here probably.
You think?
Yeah, easiest.
Which one of those is your old clutch? The rusted one?
Yeah, the rusted one.
The other one was better.
For shape. Hey,
What?
how many downers I can't install it.
Huh?
I can't install it right now because I need a clutch alignment tool.
Oh. Does Javi have one?
I don't think so.
Can you round one out of one?
I'll probably take one of those on. It's just a little piece of plastic that holds the clutch this in position while you tighten the plate. So it has to be centered about the shaft, or else the transmission shaft won't go in right.
Should go round one before
The
the
transmission shaft has to go through these splines and line up here. If you screw that up, you're pretty screwed.
When are you thinking of doing it?
Huh?
When are you thinking of installing?
I don't know, sometime this weekend. We'll see what happens. Maybe not.
Because today is Saturday, no?
Yeah.
Those fuel lines?
No, this is just crankcase ventilation. The fuel lines are over here. This is the fuel line.
Stay.
This is the fuel line. There's another one down here. These are fuel lines. See, they're connected to the fuel rail.
The fuel rail is this?
Mm-hmm. All the injectors are there.
Ah, so the lines feed the fuel rail and the fuel rail feeds the injectors?
Yeah. Here I am connecting a few of the hoses that go on and around the valve cover. Most of them are just for crankcase ventilation. Entro a tu cuarto y nuevamente te hago mía. Bien conoces mis errores, el egoísmo de ser dueño de tu vida. Then I installed the spark plugs and wires off my old engine because they were fairly new at the time that my other engine blew up. Those sagging pants though, and that little weak belt just doesn't do anything about it. Another thing that I transferred off my old engine is my alternator. Even though the alternator that was on this engine was pretty good looking, the one I had on my old engine was also very much brand new, so I went ahead and used it. And that about does it for this update. Stay tuned for the next episode where you'll get to see me putting the engine in the car and getting it running.